Hi everyone, my name is Mike Love, and today we're going to once again start constructing our Platonic solids that are within the framework of Metatron's cube. And the whole reason we're doing this is to demonstrate that the two-dimensional image of Metatron's cube that is so familiar to us is really a three-dimensional figure, and it has these three-dimensional shapes, the Platonic solids, nested within it. So in the last video what we did was the tetrahedron, the hexahedron, and the octahedron. And in today's video what we're going to be doing is the dodecahedron, which is a 12-sided figure, and we're going to do then the icosahedron, which is a 20-faced figure. So again, we'll be using this little kit that I mentioned earlier that I found on Etsy, and I want to just show you that what we have is a box that has these nice little vertexes or vertices in them, and all we need to do is then connect these via the wood that is associated with them, the wood edges here, and we get our shapes. So as you can see, this dodecahedron at each vertex has three sides that come into it, 1, 2, 3. So that's what we'll be using. We'll be using this one to construct that, and then for the icosahedron, we see that each vertex has 5 interfaces, 5 faces that come into it, and we're going to be using these, don't know how well you can see that, to create that. So let's go ahead and start with the dodecahedron. So I'm going to separate out, and this goes really fast now that there's only 2 possible shapes left. All of these vertices here. All right. So here I've got all of these 3-sided plastic moldings here, and we're going to bring out a whole bunch of these from our box. And again, these are these sided pieces of wood. They're very nice. And so when we go ahead, what we notice about the dodecahedron is that the face is a pentagon. So the first thing we want to do is let's create a pentagon, which is a 5-sided face. 1, 2. Let me connect another one on here. 3. 4. And then the 5th vertex. And there we have it. We have a pentagon, so we have a 5-sided pentagon. And notice that all of these vertices are pointing inward because this is a rounded shape figure. So what we can do then now is we'll expand out from that. So this is coming along very nicely. Just imagine this is our base. So this is the base right here. And then what we want to do is then create then a pentagon for each one of these. You see how quickly this goes. These kits are really nifty. I really like them. And now you can really see how this is taking shape. So just going to straighten these up a little bit. And so you can see how just continuing along, how this is taking shape nicely. And as you can see, all we need to do is add the top layer now. So we're going to combine all of these in here to make this nice and solid. And you're going to see a beautiful pentagon for each one of these shapes. Okay, so now I've connected the tops of each one of these pentagons here. All right, so we add the top now. And I've just added a face in here, each one of the top ones, and then all we need to do is connect the top layer here. And you can see it's taking shape very nicely. Almost there. One more to go. And there we have it. So, from just this little group of plastic vertices and this small little piece of wood, we have created this beautiful dodecahedron. And as you can see, it's really much larger than the other images that we've put together. But it's interesting that it's the same length of face. So each one of these is the same length as these other ones were. So, all right, that is our dodecahedron. I think I'm just going to move these over here. Okay, now dodecahedron. Now the icosahedron. The icosahedron is very fun. And it has 20 edges, and each one is a triangle. So we're going to use the only vertices that we have left, and all the remaining sticks. And there's one stuck in the bottom of the box. Wouldn't you know it? But it's not the right length, so hopefully we don't need it. All right, so we'll see about that. All right, so each one of these, as I said, each vertex has 5 sides coming into it. So we're going to insert 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how that looks. And then what we're going to do is put one on the top of each one of these. And remember that we want to, since this is also going to be circular, we want to make sure that everything faces inside. All of these sides are going to be facing inside here. So we're going to now connect these two here. Okay, and then as you can see, there we have then a pretty recognizable, kind of looks like a shape of some automobile manufacturer, I think, but there we have that. Now we're going to make another one of these. Exactly the same thing, we're just going to repeat it. Start out with one and just put a stick in every one of these holes here. Again, just like that. And then we're going to cap off each one with another plastic vertex. And I hope you have one of these kits at home, because it's much more fun to do this together. And remember, I got this on Etsy. And so we're just going to fill this in. They're very modestly priced. So, and there's my second one. So again, it looks like an automobile manufacturer's logo. So here we've got 2 of these. So these are the only places left to put our pegs in. I want to point out also that these are all triangles here, right? Every one of these is a triangle. So as we take these 2 ends and we match them up, we've got to create triangles. So how do we do that? Well, let's just put one in here. You can do this with any of these 2. Well, let's just do it with all of them. That'll probably be the easiest way to do that. So just take one side and fill up all the pegs. Use up all the pegs you can find. And so you see, after you do that, you have this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add it in just like that, and that's all there is to it. So just take that and connect it like that, and away you go. So just leave these loose as you're just getting all of them seated for the first time. And then once they're all seated, you can press them more together and get the fit in there a little bit better. But there you go. And there is a beautiful icosahedron. And you'll notice, again, it's very interesting. I find this very interesting. Using the same length sides, you get a much smaller figure than the dodecahedron. And that's very interesting to me anyways. So we've made these two. So the whole purpose of this exercise was to understand all of these shapes are within this two-dimensional figure. So we've got this big dodecahedron, we've got this icosahedron, we've got this octahedron, we've got this cube, and then we've got this tetrahedron, all within this figure, within the shape. And the reason we're interested at all in this is we want to have a more accurate representation of Metatron's cube, not as a two-dimensional, but as a three-dimensional object. And here is a beautiful model that we have that shows a 3D Metatron's cube with the dodecahedron on the outside. You can see the tetrahedron here, and then in the very middle is the icosahedron. A little bit more difficult to see because it's really made of thread. Is first of all, the hexahedron here, and then the octahedron down here. They're a little bit more difficult to see because they are made of thread. But this is what we're looking for. We're looking to understand that this is a better image of Metatron's cube than what we started with, which was just purely a two-dimensional image. So I hope that was informational, and I hope you had some fun constructing this. If you don't have this kit, as I said, it's very modestly priced on Etsy. Go out and get yourself one. And I want to thank you for the time and allowing me to demonstrate how much is really inside this Metatron's cube. So thanks very much.